Hello friends, how are you doing? I am Jitendra Katre and this is my wife Madhuri with me. There is a small waterfall, very beautiful waterfall. I am going to take you there. I will take some photographs and I will edit those on computer to make a final image. Are you interested? Let's go. This waterfall is not far from a city. Very close to it, but hardly anybody knows it. These waterfalls are always buried deep in the green vegetation, surrounded by slippery rocks. So one has to be very careful about them. I will have to walk along this edge by the side of the water. The rocks looks very slippery. Got to be very careful. And there it is, our little waterfall. Isn't it beautiful? I want to go a little closer, but I wouldn't want to step in the water here. It looks like I will have to go through these bushes here behind me. A perfect habitat for snakes like Ruffles Viper. Scary. And here I am. I am using Canon 5DS and Canon 16 to 35 f4 for these photographs, and I have attached Tiffen 4 stops Indy filter so that I can get a silky white water. I will take 3 exposures, each one stop apart, so that I can merge them to get a nice HDR. I am using f7.1 to avoid diffraction softening. ISO is 100, and for the middle exposure I am getting shutter speed of about 5 seconds. Hello. I finished taking 3 shots, 3 exposures. Let's go back to my computer and edit this HDR image. Hi, I'm back at my PC and I have opened 3 exposures in Adobe Camera Raw. Before diving into the editing process, I have a request to make. If you have watched my video this far, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps. Now we have opened these 3 exposures here in Adobe Camera Raw. The first one is grossly underexposed, this last one is grossly overexposed, and this one is a middle exposure. And we are going to combine these 3 images together to form a nice high dynamic range image. Why this has to be done? Because some landscapes, for example this landscape also, contain elements of very high contrast. The water is almost overexposed here. There are very deep shadows under the rocks. So one image cannot be processed satisfactorily. So we are going to combine these images together. For example, from this underexposed image, we are going to pick up details from the water. In this overexposed image, we are going to pick up details from the shadows. So we will merge this together and we will get a good image. Before proceeding further, click here. See, the color space here selected is sRGB. This is not a very wide color space. You can see the histogram is showing clipping on this side. But once we change this to Pro Photo Color RGB, the clipping has gone. So this Pro Photo RGB color space has the largest number of colors. Also change the color depth to 16 from 8. Now we can click OK. There is one more thing I want to highlight. Watch this slider, exposure slider. I can move the slider to the right by 5 stops. Same to the left by 5 stops. Just keep this in mind, we will come back to this point again. Now we will click this icon here and select all. When all 3 exposures are selected, click there again and this time sync settings. So all changes made in any of these images will be applied to the other 2 images. Hit OK. Now go to the lens tab, lens correction tab. Check both these boxes. The program will identify the lens you have used and then apply lens correction to all of these images. Go back to that icon again and hit it again, and this time merge to HDR. The program will ask you permission to merge, but before you click on merge here, just check these 2 boxes are already checked. Now program will combine all these exposures together and will form an DNG image which will appear here under these 3 images. So here is the DNG image, combination of all these 3, and I want to show you something here again. Now if I move the slider to the right, it can go up to 10 stops. Earlier it used to go only for 5 stops. This is because this DNG image here is now 32-bit image. So you have got a lot of space to work with. So the dark areas are showing blue color here, that indicates that there are no details left. So I will shift this black slider to the right. Okay. Now go to the sharpening and noise reduction tab. By pressing Ctrl Alt and 0, you can enlarge the image to 100%, and you can check if there is any noise in darker areas. I don't see any noise here, so I need not use the luminous slider to reduce the noise, at least in this case. Now about sharpening. Before I apply any sharpening to this image, I will click on Alt key and move this masking slider to the right. Now image is being seen in monochrome. Sharpening will apply to the only white areas seen in this image, and darker areas will be left out. I will reduce the detail slider. I think it gives some noise to the image, and I increase the amount. I think this is enough sharpening. I will click Ctrl 0 to reduce the image size. I will crop this image right here only. I will keep the original ratio. And I am cropping it this way just to avoid this area, brighter sky area, because this brightness is competing with brightness of this water. So I will cut it out. Now I think we can open this image into the main program. Now this image is here in main program of Photoshop. I will duplicate this layer and first thing I will do is to remove this debris in the background. By clicking Ctrl and plus keys, I will enlarge the image so that I can see it better. With healing brush, I will just remove it. Ctrl and minus key to come back to the original size. Okay, now I will launch this curves adjustment layer. Click here. And even in shadow areas, the image is looking too contrasty. Okay, but I don't want contrast all over the image, so I will invert this mask by pressing Ctrl and I. So the effect of curves is not seen. Now I will use the brush to paint it white. Make sure the brush has soft edges and opacity is around 50. Now I will paint only the areas where I want the contrast. I will move the brush along the flow of the water so that I can direct the gaze of the viewer. I don't want much of the contrast in the peripheral area, because contrast is the thing that attracts the viewer's eye. Also, I am not going to touch these areas where the brightness is already too high. So that's it. So you can check. Some part of the water has very good contrast now. you can see that the leaves behind here have the same amount of brightness as that of water here. So maybe I think the leaves should be darkened a little, or perhaps this is the good time to add some vignette. So I will add a blank layer, use the lasso tool, draw a rough figure, use feather, and now invert the selection. Now the selection is inverted. I will launch the levels adjustment layer and darken the edges. So now the leaves are darkened and we have added vignette also. Now I will add one more blank layer and change this foreground color to something like this. Select a brush, make sure the edges are soft and opacity down to about 20. By pressing bracket keys, you can reduce the size of the brush, and I will change the blending mode to soft light, and I will paint this water here with blue. And I will change the opacity so that the effect will be very subtle. That's it. Same ways, we can change the foreground color to something like orange, faint orange. Enlarge the size of the brush by pressing bracket keys. I will leave the opacity at 16%. And on the same blank layer, I will paint this foliage behind the waterfall with this orange. This creates a color contrast. This blue and orange are opposing colors. In any image, the contrast attracts the viewer's eyes. So contrast can be between the shades, between bright and dark areas, or between opposing colors. So this is from where we started, and this is the result we got. Now we can combine all these layers together to form a single layer by pressing Ctrl, Shift, Alt and E. So this layer contains all the information. I will click on Filter, Other, High Pass. The image will turn into grey, and use the slider just to make the edges bright, only the edges bright. Hit OK, and now we change the blending mode to soft light. This is the best way of applying sharpening. The image is sharp now. I can flatten the image. Change from 16-bit channel to 8-bit channel. Go to Convert Profile. Change ProPhoto RGB color space to sRGB. And now image can be saved. So that's it. I hope you liked my video. Thanks for watching.